boys and girls, or girls. We are going to be doing a review over what we did all week. Can anyone tell me what we did this past week? What were we working on?
Division.
Yep, division. And what kinds of strategies did we learn this past week? Arrays, taking apart, building arrays. Anybody else?
Shared group.
Shared, division as sharing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there's one more.
Repeated subtraction.
Repeated subtraction, you're right. So can someone tell me, explain to the class what repeated subtraction means? Rachel?
It's where you take the same amount away each time and then see how many times you took it away.
Yeah. So if you had 8 and you were dividing it by 2, you would take 8 and you would take 2 away. And what's 8 minus 2? 6. And then we'd take 2 away. So what's 6 minus 2? 4. What's 4 minus 2? 2. What's 2 minus 2? 0. So how many times we took 2 away? 4. So 8 divided by 2 equals 4.
Wow.
Nice job, guys. Can someone tell me what an array is or what an array looks like? Does anybody know what an array looks like? Alright. An array is when you have a group of objects.
Oh, yeah.
Say we have 6 objects and you put them into a group and you have rows and columns. So you have 2 and 3. So 2 times 3 would equal how many?
6.
6. But if you did it with division, you would know if you have 6 objects and you build your array and you're dividing by 2, you can start by making 2 and taking away from your 6 to make 3 columns. All right? Good job. And what was our last one? Sharing. So that is when you have 15 pieces and you are grouping them equally. So if we had 15 and we were dividing it by 3, how many groups would we have?
3.
3 groups, you're right. So this is one group, this is another group, this is another group. And you would take your 15 objects and you would distribute it equally. So you would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then you would tell me how many dots or pieces are in each group. So does anyone know how many pieces were in each group?
5.
5. So 15 divided by 3 groups is 5 in each group. All right, so let's do a problem together, and let's do it with sharing. So you can take a colored tile group of your own, so take blue, red, or yellow or green, and I'm going to write a problem on the board. Once you have all your pieces. So let's start with a smaller, easier number, just to refresh our memory. So if we have 6, everybody takes 6 pieces away from your big group, your big pile. So then with 6, let's divide it by 3. So how many groups are we going to make? 3 groups. Yep, you're right, Ashlyn. Can anyone tell me how many they had in each of their groups? 2. You're right. So your problem should look something like this. You had 6. And you distributed them equally. Like this. That's something what yours looks like? Good job. Alright. Let's try one more. This time we'll do 10 divided by 5. So get 10 pieces, and then you're going to divide it into how many groups? 5 groups. And if you think you know the answer, put your finger on your nose. Summer, can you tell us what the answer would be?
2 in each group of 5.
2. How did you get that?
Because I put each, I started by putting 1 and then grouped them all together, so that way I had 5 piles that all the same amount.
Good job. Do we think we have a good understanding on how to divide by sharing? Awesome. Let's try something different. We're going to do a game. So if you could get with a partner, Rachel and Summer want to work together. That would be awesome. And you're going to want to sit somewhat close to your partner. Use your phones as like the calculator. You probably won't need it because of the problems. You'll probably know them, but we would have a calculator for each one. So I'll give a directions sheet to each of you so you can all read it. We'll read it together so we're all clear on what we're going to be doing. Go, Summer. All right. Can someone read to me the first direction? Rachel, would you like to read?
Okay. Player 1 draws the card, reads the division problem, and calls out the answer. Player 2 uses the calculator to check player 1's answer. If the answer is correct, player 1 draws a line segment on the game board. If the answer is incorrect, player 1 does not draw a line and his or her turn is over.
Thank you. Okay, so one thing that's already going to be different when we play the game is we won't have cards. But instead, if you look at your worksheet, it will show an A column and a B column. So you can decide who wants to be player A and who wants to be player B. And you'll just do that whole row or that whole column when you're taking turns going back and forth. All right. Summer, can you read the second one?
Player 2 takes a turn using the same steps above.
Awesome. Can I have someone read the third?
Play continues. The player who draws a line that finishes a 4-sided box writes his or her initials in that box.
So when you have four dots, you see how it looks like a box? When you get one answer correct, you're going to put a line down. And then the next person to go, say they want to make their line segment here, then the next one here, and whoever finishes the box gets to write their initials inside the box. And you get 1 point for that. All right? Can someone read the last instruction?
At the end of playing time, players calculate their scores using the following method. Each box with a minion inside is worth 3 points. Each box with initials it's only worth 1 point. The player with the most points wins.
Awesome. So this game's called Divisible Me, just like Despicable Me with minions. So you can go ahead and start with your group, with your partner, and look at whoever wants to be A can do the first problem. And if you'd like, you can use your counter pieces to build an array or do anything that you know how to do with division, all right? And I'll be walking around checking on you.
You want to be A or B? Alright, 15 divided by 3.
15 or something.
Divided by 3. 1, 2, 3.
Can you tell me what strategy you use, Rachel?
I use sharing. I split them into 3 different groups.
Nice.
And there's 5 in each group.
Is she right, Summer?
Yes.
Is 15 divided by 3 5?
603, so.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you. I will go. Ooh, this is big.
Who cares?
18 divided by 3.
These might be
Oh,
a little better than
Whoops.
Whoa, wait, can you do that?
Can you guys show me how you got these answers?
All up here. We're advanced.
Yeah? How about this one? That's a hard one. You might need some counter pieces.
I said
You're gonna do it by grouping?
Yep.
Let's
2
see.
divided by 2. So that's
So you have to put your initials on the
One.
inside. You know.
10, 12,
Right.
18, 20.
Oh, yeah, I just didn't do the minion boxes, I think. No strategy.
Alright, nice. Group. Very hard to write side by side.
What strategy are you using?
Sharing.
Sharing, yeah.
There's
That's one of my
4.
favorites.
Me too.
Seriously.
How did you know that, Summer?
Because I'm the smartest kid yet.
Did you memorize your facts?
yeah. Some are
Yeah.
easy.
I already had one.
Okay. 21 divided by 3.
Oh, well, that's a hard one.
Should I use my pieces?
It might be helpful.
Oh wait, I shouldn't have put it there anyway.
No!
Ow!
How did you know 3 divided by 3 is 1?
There's only one in each.
Whenever you divide a number by itself, you always get 1, right?
Yep.
Nice.
No.
Thank you.
That's so rude. That is
You
so
left it
rude.
there for me. I agree.
How are we doing so far?
Not good.
Are your partners getting the answers correct?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. 14 divided by 2 is 7.
Are you using different strategies?
Wrong.
We'll continue for about 2 more minutes.
I'm not doing the next one.
I just got the.
9 divided by 3 is 3.
Is that one you have memorized, Rachel?
Yeah. And in my head, I pictured 3 different groups of 3.
Oh, nice.
No.
Wow, not following instructions.
Okay. 6 divided by 2 is 3 again. What?
Looks like we're about done.
I hate this game. I'm usually really bad at it. $24 divided by 3.
That's a hard one.
Actually, yeah.
How could you
8.
figure it out?
I thought of the multiplication fact of 8 times 3.
Yeah. Because we
You want me
know
to
if you
let
reverse
win
it
one.
with our flash families,
Rude.
that you can figure out division problems by using multiplication.
Wow.
That's right, we did learn that. Your ways are so effective.
Thanks, Summer.
You're welcome.
This group's about done. Think
Good
they're
work.
finishing up.
We're
Did
done.
you draw a line for that one? There you go.
Winner, chicken.
You could have gotten
Yeah, you could've got a
Summer.
box.
I know, but I'm not